Hey, real quick, guys, can you let me know if you hear audio? Can you guys let me know if you hear audio? I'm just testing it to see if it's working. Let me know if you can hear what I'm saying. If you cannot, also let me know. Can you guys... It works. Oh, good. All right, excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and start the stream then and not come back at 5:30 because I don't want to jinx it. So now we got audio. So we'll just get an extra 15 minutes. Awesome. All right. Yeah, I just restarted the laptop and then fiddled around with the Realtek audio settings because I'm a techie like that. No, just kidding. I know nothing about tech stuff. Whoa. All right, let's get the tea out of the way. Thanks, Brandon. I'm happy you made it. Burnman, no, I didn't just plug it in. It was always plugged in, but something was wrong with the settings. Anyways, that doesn't matter because now everyone can hear me, which is great. Hey, appreciate it, Drew. Thanks for your offer to help, man. I think I got it figured out. Esteban, how you doing, man? Andy Garcia, let's go. How was everybody's Christmas? You guys had a good time? Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. If you're not religious or you don't celebrate the holidays, also good. How was your holidays? How was your days off? Hey, Henry. They don't teach life skills in the Ivy Leagues. I went to school in England, so I didn't go to the Ivy Leagues. Well, it was Cambridge, so yeah, you might have a point there. Xmas was bad. Lakers lose. Oh, you're a Lakers fan, Alex? I guess. You must be. Anybody catch the Chelsea-Aston Villa game yesterday? That was a Frank Lampard, man. Someone needs to he needs to get a tactician assistant coach to help him out. English Ivy Leagues. Well, if I was really into the English Ivy Leagues from Cambridge, I would talk like this. Casual guy, Liverpool fan, huh? Did you hear the Florian Balogan to Liverpool rumors? Yeah, Drew, thanks, man. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you had a good holiday, too. I've been watching your videos. Hey, everybody, if you're not subscribed to Kicking It with Drew, go subscribe to him because he does great stuff as well. So go make sure you subscribe to Drew. He does good. Him and Tactical Manager, they do great stuff. Greg, I didn't catch the Man United game today. What was the score? Preston Croshaw, thoughts on the McKenzie move to Genk? How will he develop there? Yeah, I like it better than Celtic. 1-0 to Man United. Okay. I don't know if it's true, Alex. It seems like some reliable sources are saying it's true. So that's good enough for me. Everyone check out my new 11 Yanks t-shirt designed by my friend Christine. She does great stuff. Oh, wow. 94th minute deflected goal for Rashford. The USMNT should have released the roster on this stream for the big views. We have 27 people right now, Burnman, 23, so I'm not sure we're really getting big views just yet. Yeah, guys, I like the McKenzie to Genk rumors. I think that would be better than Scotland. They're second right now in the Belgian league, and they will probably be at least Europa League next season, if not Champions League, so I think that's a good spot for him. Obviously, I would prefer a Big Five league, Germany or France, but I would prefer, I would definitely prefer Genk to Celtic. Better quality league, more technical. He's going to face more technical players. It isn't just going to be this scrap, kick and rush football that they play over in Scotland. Alex, USMNT players to Europe. Yes. Theorist, big views loading. Ha. One day, Theorist. Right now we have 29 people hanging out. It's good to see you guys. MLS posted that deal is in place. Mason, was that on MLSsoccer.com? Did they post it as it's for sure, or did they just post it as a rumor? Because they like to post transfer rumors sometimes, and then people think it's legit because it's on the legit site, but they're just saying it's a rumor. What about the rumor about Brian Reynolds from Alex? Yeah. There's several rumors. Juventus, Fiorentina, Roma. Apparently there's clubs in Germany. Bruges is obviously interested. I mean, this is what I've heard. So I don't know. Twelman reported it. It's legit, Berman. Berman, are you talking about the Mark McKenzie to Genk rumors? McKenzie, okay. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of things in the Brian Reynolds deal, guys. I'm hearing from some people that it's finished, and then I'm hearing from some people like Tom Bogert, who's very well connected to FC Dallas, that it's not a done deal at all. So I'm hearing conflicting reports, and I'm not sure who to believe. But generally, Tom Bogert does good reporting, and he doesn't call it until it's finished. A lot of these transfer deals, especially in Europe, they're very complicated because there's a lot of moving parts, and they can fall apart just like that, you know? Preston Croshaw, Reynolds to Juve and a loan to Cagliari seems to be the deal. Could be really nice for his development, in my opinion. Agreed. Especially, I think, for Brian Reynolds, going to Italy would be good because he is a good attacker, right? He was a winger in his youth days. Defending is the area that he needs to improve. Yes, I'm back, Akshay. So, yeah, I think being in a place like Italy that is very strong in defense will help him. Burnman, we shouldn't believe anything until we hear it from Charlie Kennan. Oh, did you guys see the Charlie Kennan drama last week on Twitter? That was something else. Okay. All right. Do Deandre Yedlin have any spot at right back in the squad? I would say no. I don't rate Deandre Yedlin that highly. He's a pace merchant. He doesn't have technique, and his positioning tends to be poor, which is why he's struggling to break into Newcastle. Now, I know he played the last 3 games at Newcastle, but that's only because they had multiple injuries. So, not sure. Let's see. Henry Chibib, did we ever end up finding out what happened? So, apparently what happened was, for anybody who's not aware, Charlie Kennan put a picture of what we thought was him on Twitter in a hospital with his thumbs up saying he's been diagnosed with brain cancer. And, so the USMNT community on Twitter, everybody responded with love and compassion and well wishes. And a lot of people were working hard to maybe try to get something started to help him out. Turns out somebody else on Twitter said that was me when I recovered from cancer and put that on Twitter a while ago. So this is a fraud. And then Charlie Keenan deleted his account. And he'd gotten Serginho Dest and Weston McKinney and even the U.S. Soccer official Twitter handle to wish him well. Turns out it was a fake. But I don't want to dwell too long on the Charlie Keenan stuff because that's just some sad shit. Let's see. Jesus Vasquez, Lima or Yedlin? Ooh, hard to say. Lima is probably better technically than Yedlin, but Yedlin is quicker. So it depends what you're going for. It depends the kind of game you want to play. Casual guy. Sargent needs to leave Werder Bremen. Yes, he does. Hopefully this summer. He won't go in January, but hopefully in the summer. All right. Alex Akinola is in the Canada camp. What do you think? I think that's fine. The kid is looking at his options, right? He came into a U.S. camp. He played and scored a goal. Now he's going to Canada. He's probably not going to play. He won't be able to play in this camp unless he files a one-time switch. So he's probably not going to play. He's going to Canada. He's going to see what they have to offer him. Honestly, if I'm Akinola, I'd pick Canada. I just think he's going to get more playing time with them. I think Akinola is very big, very strong, very athletic, and a decent finisher, but lacks the technique to be an elite forward. So I think if you're competing with Josh Sargent and Daryl DK and Sebastian Soto and Nico Giacchini, and especially if Balogan commits to US, then it's going to be very difficult for him to play for the US. So if I'm at Canola, I go to Canada. That's my gut. But, he's been with the US national teams since U15. Hey, Austin, how you doing, man? So I don't really know what he's going to do. It's entirely up to him. If his heart is to the U.S., there's always a spot, right? Let's see. Canada's striker group is probably better than the U.S.'s, especially if you don't play Morris there. Well, let's see. Canada's striker group right now is Jonathan David is their best number 9. They've got the guy from Turkey who used to be in Orlando. What was his name? Someone Tell me his name if you remember it offhand. And then they have the guy who's in Vancouver, who used to be in Mexico. Those three are their forwards right now. Laren, thanks, guys. Kyle Laren. Yeah, Kyle Laren is a decent forward, but he's not elite. I mean, he couldn't really make it in Turkey. So he's not a Josh Sargent. He's not a guy who's going to be top 5 league in the world. And that's where I think Akinola has a chance to play, to compete. Jonathan David obviously is a different story. Now, Jonathan David hasn't had the most productive season so far with Leo. He's got 2 goals and 4 assists in about 1,400 minutes. But based on what we saw from him last season, he's still a better striker than anybody that Canada has. So Akinola would be behind him for sure, and probably competing with Kyle Laren and El Tanque, who plays over in Vancouver. Lucas Cavallini. Those are the 3 strikers he's competing with. So maybe he figures he has a shot with the U.S. Nobody's lighting it up. Sargent's doing okay, but he's in a bad situation. Soto's in the second division in Holland, right? Joaquini's in the second division in France. So it's not like anybody's lighting it up. OGR Sports. It's been a blast watching you grow. Really love the information I get. If you had a choice on a coach to replace Greg, who would it be? OGR Sports, thank you so much for the support, man. I really appreciate it. You've been commenting on my videos since like the first or the second video, I think. And I really appreciate your support, man. Good question. If I had a choice on a coach to replace Greg, who would it be? Right now, probably Jesse Marsh. I think that Jesse Marsh is the best American coach in the world at the moment. Okay. Some other options could include Pellegrini. I'm sorry, not Pellegrini. Matarazzo, who is over at Stuttgart and doing really, really well. Kind of an understated guy, isn't getting a lot of applause from the American fan base, but very, very good coach. Worked with Julian Nagelsmann in the past. Very similar coach if you watch their teams play. Also American, born and raised in New Jersey. So top coach. David Wagner could be interesting, but don't sleep on guys like Oscar Pereja at Orlando. Anybody who's an Orlando fan here knows that Oscar turned around that franchise like this. 5 years of just utter wretched failure, 1 year after another. And then Oscar comes in, and within 1 year, they're title contenders. So huge props to him, what he did in Dallas, what he did in Colorado, in Concacaf. He did really well in Mexico. So a lot. So to answer your question more completely, OGR, I would take Jesse Marsh, followed by, any above of Matarazzo, Greg Vanney, even David Wagner, or a foreign coach. Look, if I'd be happy to get a foreign coach. We should have gotten Tata Martino when we had the chance. We love Pepe. I like Pepe too. I'm curious to see how Pepe does with a full season under his belt. He's still just 18 or 19 years old, so he's young. Ricardo Pepe. Let's see. It's going to take a disappointment. Theorist says it is going to take a disappointment for Greg to be replaced, or is the USMNT planning to replace him regardless? No, they're not planning to replace him anytime soon. I think he'd have to start losing World Cup qualifying games to actually get sacked. So, yeah, he's not going anywhere. One Blue Love 23. USMNT is reaching semis in Qatar. That would be awesome, man. We might not be young and inexperienced for semis, but you never know. Look, it's the World Cup, guys. If you've got quality, anything can happen, okay? Anything can happen. Croatia made it to the final. Now, yeah, Croatia had a lot of quality, but they're not a France or a Germany, right? So you never know. Greg got the job out of nepotism, but he had a good 2020. He made some adjustments. Burnman, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. He's improved in 2020, but 2020 has been all friendlies. So I have to see how he does picking a lineup, picking tactics when there's actually points on the line. Preston Croshaw, defense is lacking depth. Who is the B team back four? Good question. Preston, do you want my personal opinion of who should be the back four, the second team back four? Or do you want who I think Greg Berhalter would select? Because there's a difference. Tell me which one you want. I can give you both too, because I think I would pick it a little differently to Greg Berhalter. Hashtag Mourinho 2026. I don't think he would suit the U.S. personally. Isaiah Paskins, USMNT has history of upsets on their side, so I can see how people see how we reached the semis in 2022. Yeah, but the way we got those upsets, you have to remember, is that we bunkered, okay? We bunkered defensively and we hit people on the counterattack. We're not going to do that anymore. I don't see Greg doing it. I see us going all out, which actually makes us more vulnerable. But to answer Preston Crowshaw's question, by the way, thanks a lot, Preston, for your support. I'm going to give you both B teams back four. My back four for the B team would be Reggie Cannon, Chris Richards, Mark McKenzie, and either George Bello or Sam Vines at left back. I don't think that's what Greg would go with. I think Greg's back four would be, or his B team back four, probably Kyle Duncan at right back. My guess would be Matt Miazga or Aaron Long as the sort of second center back. Tim Ream at left center back. And then maybe Sam Vines probably. Oh, no, Anthony Robinson. That's what I think would be Greg's back four. But I'm very, very high on Mark McKenzie. I hope he takes Tim Ream's place at some point. I think you should just coach us. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And it's one thing to sit and talk about stuff, but it's very different to get it across to players and make them effective doing it. Walker Zimmerman is so overrated from Josh Simmons. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I prefer Miles Robinson, Josh. But Atlanta doesn't want to release players for January camp, so nothing we can do about that. Honestly, yeah, bring Pete in. Thanks, guys. Go lobby U.S. Soccer if you want more failure. Just make Pete the head coach. Then you guys will unsubscribe very quickly, trust me. Would Mark McKenzie and Chris Richards fit together? Good question, Alex. I think so. I think with John Brooks's injury history, you could put Mark McKenzie as his backup, and as Chris Richards improves at Bayern, have him play with Chris Richards. Let's see. Smack243, hashtag Pete 2022. You guys are hilarious. Miles Robinson is a great hypothetical fit next to Brooks and has proven more than people think. I like Miles Robinson. I want him in January camp, but Atlanta United won't release him. And I know Josh gave a pretty good explanation of what happened. Apparently they had playoffs during a friendly and they asked Greg Berhalter to go easy with Miles Robinson, but the fitness coach made him do sprints after the game, which is natural. Usually that happens after a game. The subs who didn't play do sprints to keep their fitness levels up. But, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but so they made him do sprints and it injured him for the Atlanta games. And so they're reluctant to release their players unless it's a FIFA match date when they're required to. Okay. Danny Magoo 8. What kind of accent is that you have? I get this question at least twice a month. It's a weird mutt accent. I was born and raised in Thailand. My parents were American. I studied in the UK. I worked in India and a little bit in the Middle East as a coach. And then I moved to Chicago and then now Los Angeles. So my accent is a mutt of all the places that I've been in my life. So that's why nobody can figure out where it's from. Chris Richards should move to a team where he starts at center back by Akshay Singh. I'm okay with him at Bayern right now. He's not getting a ton of time, but he's getting some time. I wouldn't mind a loan, maybe a 6-month loan from January to the summer, because Jerome Boateng is aging and they're going to lose David Alaba. So I think next season, Chris Richards is, if not a starter, at least the first center back, the third choice center back after the front two. Am I late, Pete? AMB. Well, we were supposed to start at 5 and then we had some audio issues. And then, we started around 5:15, but we got a good hour. So no worries. Robbie Cohen, opinions on Folarin Balogan. Yeah, I haven't seen him play. So I don't want to start talking about him if I've seen highlights, but I'm not going to evaluate a player on highlights. A lot of guys will do that. They'll start yapping. I'm not going to do that. I have to watch him at least play 2 or 3 games, 90 minutes through to actually evaluate him. And that's not enough, but that's the minimum for me. So not sure. He seems like a good prospect. I don't know if he wants to represent the U.S. or not. OGR Sports. Do you think Bremen will let Sargent transfer in January? If not January, I don't think they're going to let him go in January. They need to stay up probably the summertime. I'm hoping for, fingers crossed, for a Sargent move in the summer, guys. We need Sargent to be at a place where he's going to get better service and where he's not just going to be used as a battering ram and where he's actually going to improve as a player. Diego Guzman, did you join the Lakers or Dodgers celebrations in downtown LA? I didn't. I don't pay attention to any other sports than soccer. I'm not a good American in that sense. I'm soccer and soccer only. So I mean, I'm happy. Like if the Lakers win, oh yeah, I'm happy for the town. But I don't even watch the Super Bowl. That's just it's not interesting to me. All right. The States FC calling it right now. Brian Ko is going to be the surprise USMNT breakout player in 2021. I believe that. Another good channel to follow, guys. The States FC. Go follow him if you haven't already. He does some good videos, some good content. I like his stuff a lot. So go give him a subscribe. Let's see. Coutinho Gambino. Pulisic needs to gain some weight in the gym. You can still maintain your space and have some muscle, i.e. Traore, and be more durable against injuries. You know, there are actually exercises you can do for your hamstrings to strengthen them, particularly having to do with weight, not only weight, but isometrics, where you actually put pressure, like a small amount of pressure for a longer amount of time, and it strengthens your hamstrings. But I am not by any means a fitness coach, so no one take my advice on that. Jamaica should be seen as the dark horse. None of this Canada nonsense. They're trying to get all these players from England and could have an actual decent project. All Canada has is Davies and David. A and B, I agree with you 100%. 100%. Jamaica is underrated. The Canada fans, all four of them, get really excited because they have two good guys now. You got a left back and you've got a forward. And our 15th best prospect, Tim Weah, is out playing their second best prospect, Jonathan David, in the same club. So I don't know about that. I think they can get better, and they'll be better than they used to be, but they're nowhere near Mexico or the US's level right now. You're right about Jamaica. 5 or 6 good guys playing in top European leagues. They need to keep that going. LAH Sport. Hey, Pete, great videos. What team do you support in MLS, or what team do you support in general? In MLS, I mostly watch the teams that give opportunities to young Americans. So Philadelphia Union, FC Dallas, sometimes Sporting Kansas City. But I live in LA, so LAFC is the team that I support. I used to live in Chicago. That's actually where I am right now. I'm visiting friends in Chicago. So I used to watch the Chicago Fire, which was just nightmare viewing. But now I watch LAFC. And they were so close to winning CCL, guys. If Ochoa hadn't fake injured himself by headbutting a ray of sunlight and gotten our midfielder sent off, we probably would have won that game. Joseph Harris, Pete, my buddy, my pal, my best friend. Wow, Joseph, that's a lot of pressure there. Alex Stillier, Miami FC for me, as in Inter Miami, or is there another club in the USL, Miami FC? New York Red Bulls are going to heat up again. Maybe. We'll see. They need to get better players and stop selling them. Let me see. Cranji's Basketball. Hey, Pete. Hey, all. Hey, buddy. Hope you guys had a good... Inter Miami, Alex. Yeah, rough first season, huh? But first season, you never know. Could be better. Marcos Martinez, longtime friend of the channel. What's up, Pete? Sorry if you already answered this, but what do you think of McKenzie to Genk and Reynolds maybe to Juve? Like both of those. I like them. He won't play at Juve right away because Guardado is the right back there, and I think he's got some work to do defensively. But if they loan him out to a Serie A side for, I don't know, a year, and then bring him back, he'll still be 20, 21 years old, and he could be ready to slot in at right back. We'll see. Dangus, no love for the Fire? Haha. No, I did. I loved them a lot. I used to go out to every game at Bridgeview, but boy, watching them play so terribly week after week, and Chicago's freezing. So sometimes you're just sitting there in the rain, the sleet, and it's gray, and then you have this awful team to support. Not fun. Not fun. Will this generation make a World Cup semifinal game from Herodotus 7? Ooh. Hopefully. I think so. I think it's possible, especially in 2026. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have to qualify first, and Berhalter has to show me more. I haven't seen enough from Berhalter tactically to make me think he knows what he's doing when it really matters. Okay. Dakotas to Eva Dalt. That's Simon. Hey, Simon. Pete, what are your thoughts on Tim Weah? Personally, I feel like he has a potential to be up there with our best. Yeah, agreed. Do you guys know, and I'm going to do a whole video on this probably next week or the week after, the CONCACAF attacker who has the most goals and assists per minutes played? Give a guess who that is. Put it in the chat. Tactical Manager TV. Hey, Pete, happy early New Year. Talk to you in 2020. Hey, man, how you doing? Good to hear from you. Yeah, we're going to, Tactical Manager and I are going to do a collab together in early January. So that'll be fun. Keep your eyes out for that. And if you haven't subscribed to Tactical Manager yet, go do that. He does some great content. And he comes up with cool nicknames for my channel. Tim Weah. Yes, Weah is the one. I'm going to do a whole video on CONCACAF attackers in Europe's top 5 leagues, probably in the next week or two. Corona, yeah, but Corona's not in a top 5 league, Josh. Diego Lainez, duh. Actually, Diego Lainez, I mean, I will get into this in the video, but it's about time you and Tactical get together, to be honest. Yeah, for sure. We're going to do some great stuff, I think. We're going to do a good collab in January. Let's see. It's about time. Jean-Claude, don't know why people ever doubted Weah. Jean-Claude, a lot of American fans have recency bias. So if you've been injured for a year and they haven't seen you played, you're out of sight, out of mind. So then they start moving on mentally. And then you come back and you start performing again. And then, oh, okay, we're back on the Tim Weah hype train. But talented, technical, can play multiple positions, both wings, can play as a 10, can play as a forward. He's the kind of guy that you want in the World Cup squad because he can play so many positions. He's like your utility kit. But I think he could be really good on the right. You know, we haven't really nailed down that right-hand side yet. I think he could be good there. All right. Should Conrad leave Barca or go on loan before he do? From Alex. I'd like to see him stay for now. You know, he's not playing that much, but I don't. Maybe go down to like a lower La Liga team, but he's going to be doing a lot of defending. That's the thing. It depends where he goes. Going on loan is all very well and good if it's good for your development. Andy Garcia, I know I may sound crazy, but should CONCACAF teams play in the Copa Libertadores and Sudamericana? You mean CONCACAF club teams like MLS and Liga MX teams, or are you talking about the national teams? National teams can't play club soccer. Lola Carrillo. Lola, I watched Chelsea because of Christian Pulisic. I'm now watching Wolves because of Odesawi, and then Fulham because of Anthony Robinson. But I don't have one team that I'm like do or die with on in the Premier League. It's more of I watch Americans go. I watch Mexicans too. I watch a lot of Mexican players, especially the ones in Europe, the ones in Liga MX, because I think it's important to scout the opposition. I used to be a coach. Scouting is huge. Devonta Jones. Thoughts on Twitter, L3 fans? Oh my God. Wow, you guys. If you guys want to laugh, go check out the video I did about the US versus Mexico and the all the Mexican fans. Some of them were very objective and rational and disagreed, but did so respectfully. But the vast majority of them, oh boy, quite something. Joel Ballard, watch any women's soccer? Not so much. Sometimes like the World Cup, when the US is at the World Cup, that's when I'll watch. I just don't have time to watch women's soccer as much. Mueller over Conrad De La Fuente right now, but let them fight it out at Jan Camp. Yeah, but Burnman, De La Fuente isn't going to be at January camp. L3 fans have like 12 IQ 90% of the time. Most are delusional. Yeah, there's a lot of them, man. It's like a religion, but you know, they have this passion that we don't have in the US. It's like they're crazy about it over there. You know, it's not the same over here. You get a few guys like, you know, us, but not at the same level in Mexico. Like it's still, that video is just climbing, and most of them are Mexico fans watching it and getting mad at me for daring to say that the US is close to Mexico. I didn't even say the US was better. I said they were close. Oh, the anger. Let's see. KDLF has no value to Barcelona. I think they'll release him. Like, Wolfsburg did Giannis. Well, they didn't release him, but they loaned him out. I think a loan could work if it's the right place. Pete, you know Sin Cara? I've seen him on Twitter. Yes, we've gone back and forth. Liga MX teams seem to want to go because Argentinian TV personnel talk a lot of shit about Mexican teams. I believe MLS and Liga MX can compete with Libertadores and Sudamericana. I think Liga MX can, but I don't know about MLS. MLS still hasn't won CCL. So I don't know why, we would be able to compete with South America. Not with the salary cap. I put this on Twitter after the game. I said, we will not win. A Major League Soccer team will not win CCL until we increase the salary cap dramatically, because they're holding teams back. Teams that want to spend, teams that want to compete at a high level, LAFC, Atlanta United, Seattle Sounders, NYCFC, Toronto. These teams want to spend. They want to compete, but they're being held back by the league. Let's see. You were very objective in the video. Thanks, Jean-Claude. I tried. But, Mexico fans, there's not a lot of rationale with some of them. Some of them are. I enjoyed some good repartee with some of them. We had good back and forth, and they disagreed with me, but they did so respectfully, and I respected that and was happy to engage. 11 Yanks. I meant Barcelona would likely release KDLF for Jan camp. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if they would, but maybe. That's a possibility, Berman. I hope so. It would be good to see him in January camp. All right. When do you think our next key game will be? Let's see. Bob. I think if we play Canada, that'll be a good game, because we saw these guys in MLS against El Salvador, right? So we need to see them against better opposition. Now, Canada won't have Davies, and they won't have Jonathan David, and probably not Kyle Larin unless he comes back, but they'll have everybody else. Mark Anthony Kaye, they'll have Lucas Cavallini, they'll have their MLS guys, which is the vast majority of their squad. Reco Padrino, hello from Tenerife, Spain. Dude, we've got a guy from Tenerife in here. Why are you on a U.S. soccer stream? I mean, you're welcome. I'm happy to have you here, but how did you find us? Daryl DK's price tag is too high. Yeah, maybe. If it was, Tactical Manager, you're an Orlando City guy. Tactical, tell us what you think of Daryl DK. What are your thoughts on him as a player? Alex Stillier, what's your top 5 CONCACAF nations? Right now, Mexico, the U.S., Jamaica, Canada, and probably, at this point, I want to say Honduras or Curacao. Curacao is low-key improving as well. Jean-Claude, so we really playing Canada in January? That's the rumor. They have a camp, but I don't know if that camp means they're playing us or not. I've heard it's going to be Canada with the possibility of another team like Serbia. So 2 friendlies would be great. 1 Canada, 1 maybe European team. That would be very good. That would be guys like Chris Mueller, Daryl DK, Matt Turner, Jordan Morris, Mark McKenzie. Guys like that can show their stuff. All right, Tactical Manager. Daryl is physically gifted, fairly good positioning, but when it comes to skill set, he has a lot to improve. Sometimes he reminds me of a better version of Kyle Larin. That's good analysis, Tactical Manager. What's your name, man? I know you as Tactical Manager, but send your actual name. LAH Sport. No, Haiti. Yeah, Haiti's improved a lot as well. Joshua Simmons. Costa Rica is old now. Yeah, okay, Costa Rica, guys. Great team for the last 10 years. Is not producing young players. The average age is 32. So I think there's a good chance they won't qualify for this World Cup. Filippo, Tactical Manager. Okay, Filippo, cool, man. What happens if Bayern uses Yedlin as a defender? Yedlin's going to Bayern? I don't know about that. I have not heard that. Pedro Parker is my alter ego. Okay. Devonta Jones. Serbia is good. The Superliga is stronger than people realize. Canada and Serbia is respectable. Yeah, I agree, Isaiah. Good teams. Not great teams, but good test for our MLS level players. See how they perform. All right. Navas. Yeah, but Navas can only do so much. He's a good goalkeeper, and he's still going to be good for the next few years. But you can only do so much if you don't have any good players around you. And a lot of their good players that have carried them are old. Golden Foxa, do you think Balogan will choose the US? Ooh, I don't know, man. Maybe. If you look at England's depth, honestly, it's hard to say. If he's going with England's depth, he'd probably choose the US. But maybe he doesn't feel American. Maybe he feels English. It's hard to say. All right. Yedlin is going to Turkey. Yeah, I saw rumors about that. What are your thoughts on Gus Hiddink now coaching Curacao and is expected to bring in 5+ top-level dual nationals? That's from Trent Boring. I have a suspicion that Gus Hiddink is in Curacao to sit on the beach. I mean, the guy's in his mid-70s. Maybe. I shouldn't speak for him. Maybe he really wants to get Curacao to be better. I just think, guys like that, they get an island job. They're happy, coach them a little bit. But I don't think he's going to be working night and day to really make Curacao better. That's my honest opinion. You don't get washed-up managers to come back and coach an island team and expect them to have the same passion they did when they were coaching, South Korea or Holland or Chelsea, something like that. All right. Bye, Filippo. Everyone go subscribe to Tactical Manager TV if you haven't already. Good stuff. All right. This is a weekend at Bernie's situation. A Cabana boy has the actual job. What? Marcos Martinez. How would you do Pro Rel in MLS? How would I do it? The same way the rest of the world does it. But I would start off by splitting MLS into two and doing MLS 1 and MLS 2. Having the first season, I have them play off for the top half and the bottom half. And the bottom half of the table the following season becomes MLS 2. And they have to fight for promotion. And then I would buy USL and I would make them MLS 3. And then I would have MLS 4. Or after that, I would just have a bunch of like regional sort of amateur leagues and then have regional leagues that play off. And then the winner from each of those leagues plays off. And then the winner of that gets promoted to MLS 3. Something like that, maybe. But don't ever do it in this country because money. They don't want to be good. They just want money. All right. If full strength USA versus Canada played, what's your score prediction? I say maybe 4-0. Yeah, at least. At least. Not much. Definitely not less than that. Kranji's basketball. Promote Louisville City to MLS. Yes, good team. Very good team. What do you think of Jamaica having world-class players at every position with Leon Bailey, Adrian Mariappa, Andre Blake, and the possible additions of Isaac Hayden and even Tony? Yeah, Jamaica's impressing me a lot. I don't know that every single one of their players is world-class, but, Michael Hector at Fulham, Bobby Reid at Fulham. What's his name? Leon Bailey is lighting up the Bundesliga. Lighting it up. So they're going to have very good players. Adrian Mariappa, a few other guys. They got Ravel Morrison now, I think, as well, playing for them. Let's see. I'm not sure I would call Blake world-class either, but he's still very, very good. Deandre Yedlin shouldn't be anywhere near the national team. I agree. Diego Guzman, are you going to attend any World Cup games in 2022? I hope so. I would love to. It's 2 years from now, so I'm not really sure if I will be able to yet. It's going to be expensive. So if you guys want to send me there, great. I'll go. Which MLS players do you think will start alongside some of the Europeans? I think right now, the only MLS guys who would maybe start would be probably Aaron Long and maybe Jordan Morris, although I would prefer Tim Weah on the right wing right now. So Jordan Morris or Aaron Long. I still prefer Aaron Long to Matt Miazga. I know that is not popular. Some people like Miazga. I don't rate Miazga that highly. I think he showed again in November that he's a bit of a wild card and you just don't know what you're going to get from him. And I think you need someone who's reliable. Aaron Long cannot play out of the back, but he's really just a placeholder for Chris Richards. We need Chris Richards to get more time at Bayern. He still gets bullied a little bit if you watch him play, especially in the middle. He's okay at right back, at left back, but even those few minutes he played against Panama, he already got bullied once. So he needs to grow in experience, in confidence, in his physicality, but he's the future. So hopefully he gets that done soon. Let's see here. Birdman, don't you think MLS is the optimal route for young players if they continue to sell to Europe in a couple years? I think there is no one optimal route. I think it depends on the situation that you're in. You know, if you're, let's say you're in Portland. Portland doesn't give opportunities to young players. So if you're with Portland and you can't sign anywhere else and Portland wants to sign you, you have to take a gamble on whether or not they're going to play you. It's hard to say. But then maybe if Europe is calling, you go there. And also, if you're a top young player like Christian Pulisic and Gio Reyna at 16 would have wasted their time in MLS. If you're that level, like that intensely good, world-class Ballon d'Or contender nominee at some point in the future, don't go to MLS. Just go straight to Europe. But yeah, for the vast majority, I would say, yeah, spend a few years in MLS and then get sold. Learn the ropes, get some playing time, build your confidence, get some experience, and then go. Let's see. Brandon Avia, please stop spamming. Who's spamming? Yeah, dude, what's this Yedlin as a defender, dude? At Bayern. He's not going to Bayern. Chill. Miazga in Concacaf. Long is also not very good. Yes, Simon, I agree. He's not. But I still think he's better option than Miazga until Chris Richards takes those reins. I'd also like to see Mark McKenzie at right center back because he's actually right-footed. He's good with his left, and he's been playing on the left for Philly, but he can also play on the right, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. There's also Eric Palmer-Brown playing in Austria. If you ask me, he needs to move, go to a better league, challenge himself. All right. People only rate Matt Miazga because of what he did to Diego Lainez. Chris Richards needs LeBron's meal plan. Marcos Martinez, thoughts on the Youth World Cup getting canceled? And what do you think we should prioritize this summer, Olympics or Gold Cup? So with the U20 teams, with the U20 World Cup getting canceled, I think what that really does is it pushes some of those U20 guys into the U23s. And I think it pushes some older guys who maybe aren't that good out of the picture altogether, right? Because what will happen is some of those U23s will go play in Gold Cup, or even some of the U20s will go play in Gold Cup. And maybe a guy like Tyler Boyd, who originally was on my short list to go to the Gold Cup, maybe now he doesn't make it. So we'll see. Brandon, come on, man. You're messing it up for other people, dude. Don't do that. It's not nice. Mark McKenzie. Tenzin C, I love your content. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Tenzin. I appreciate it. Mark McKenzie and Chris Richards is my starting 2 center back for 2022. That's Alex. Alex, a little young still. Man, you know, Richards is only going to be 21, 22, and then McKenzie 23. That's a starting pairing, a center back for a World Cup. I'm not so sure. I think John Brooks has to be in that. John Brooks and Richards is more likely, but then you have maybe McKenzie and somebody else backing them up. Maybe like a Eric Palmer-Brown, even a Owen Otasawi, who I think projects long-term more as a center back. Do I see a Jamaica friendly in the future? Bob. Really no, because all we have is January now. So we have January friendlies and then we have March friendlies. Now those March friendlies should be European or South American opposition or Mexico. Like, let's get some good teams in for the March friendlies, because after that it's June. And in June, it's Nations League semifinal with Honduras and then probably Mexico in the final. So in March, let's get top teams. Guys, if you have a question that you want 100% guaranteed answer, just click the donation button down below, send a super chat. I'll guarantee to answer it. I'll try to get as many as I can, but you guys are fast. John Brooks is an anchor in our defense. No way he doesn't start. Simon, I agree. Did you see Owen Otasawi destroy Harry Kane? Yes. Corey L. What happens if... Stop, guys. Stop the Yedlin spamming. Let's see. Jacob Lehman. Need Chris Richards to start working out with Goretzka. Yes. Ooh, well, okay. This is a good one. Med the Rockstar. In an ideal world where Efrain Alvarez, Musa, etc. are all available for USMNT, who is your number 10? And in a real world, who is your number 10? Okay. Unpopular opinion. I don't think that Musa is a 10. I think Musa is more of a Weston McKinney style 8. He can play there, and Gio Reyna can play on the right, but I think that Gio Reyna is better as a 10. He is a creator. He is an instinctive, natural creator. You play Gio Reyna in the middle, Pulisic on the left, Let them interchange. When Pulisic comes inside, Gio goes around him. Let them drift around the field and create. And then behind them, you have McKinney and Adams mopping things up. You put Tim Weah on the right, and then you put Josh Sargent up front, or Daryl DK, or whoever proves himself, you know. I don't think that Musa, I think Musa is more of a backup for McKinney. Just my opinion. I think he can play with McKinney as well and do fine. I just don't think he's a creator. And if you have McKinney, Musa, and Adams in the midfield, you have a very aggressive midfield, but not a lot of creativity. And Gio Reyna is not as good on the right as he is in the middle. It's not a natural fit for him. He can do it, but you lose about 20% of his effectiveness. Just my opinion. All right. Simon, that's my starting midfield and forwards exactly, Pete. Cool. Trent, boring. How much do you think the level of competition in Concacaf has grown the past decade, particularly in the Caribbean? I think Jamaica, not Jamaica, Panama, Honduras, and Costa Rica were always there, but they weren't there because they had top players, because they played gritty, they played defensively, they fouled frequently, they engaged in the dark arts that CONCACAF is known for, and so that made it sort of semi-competitive for the U.S. and Mexico. But now you see teams like Jamaica and Canada starting to have players who are playing at a higher level. So it isn't just foul people and pretend to be injured, which is what CONCACAF has been for a long time. Now you have some quality that you're going to be competing with. So I think it's improving. It still has a long way to go, but I want to see more of this. I want to see more from Haiti. I want to see more from Curacao. I want to see Costa Rica needs to start developing players, you know. All of CONCACAF is getting better. All right, guys, a few more minutes. All right, Brandon, come on, man. I've asked you to stop spamming the group. If you keep doing that, I'm just going to kick you out, okay? Thoughts on D. Snuts, a left back who is in the Man United Academy? I have not seen it. All right, Brandon, you're out. And gone. Oh, wait, did I just delete his message? Put user in timeout. All right, Brandon's in a timeout. If you do it again, I'll just kick you out altogether. All right, was the lockdown good for U.S. soccer? Not really. Albie Anderson. El Mao. What's with all the Fs? Why is everyone typing F all of a sudden? Huh? What's going on, guys? I have no idea, guys, what this F shit means. Someone explain it to me. I'm not a boomer. I'm 33. Get out of here. All right. F is a meme. You say it in kind of a RIP situation. Brandon gets an F. Interesting. All right, guys, let's get back to the questions. What are your thoughts of Charlie Keenan? Sad situation, man. Why would you fake cancer? I don't know, man. I don't know the guy personally, but that was really shitty to do. Where do you see Efrain Alvarez available to the USMNT? Med, the rock star, I would say right wing, probably. But the kid needs to learn how to defend. He doesn't like defending. Let's see. What are you most excited for in 2021? Bob, World Cup qualifying. I want to see us going up against good teams in World Cup qualifying. I'm looking forward to beating Mexico. Hopefully we can do that. Your vids are top tier. This is from the States FC. Thanks, man. What is Chris Richards' ceiling? I think he has top 20 center back potential. Agreed. He could be Jerome Boateng or Sergio Ramos. That is his ceiling. Does it mean he's going to reach it? No. But he could, right? If he keeps his head down, continues to work hard, stays injury-free. Clubs like Bayern Munich aren't high on you unless you have really top potential. Aronson can make it big time? Maybe. Yes, I think he can, but he has a lot to work on still, particularly his decision-making in the final third and his technical ability in tight spaces. Med the Rockstar. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Who is the best midfielder in Concacaf? Ooh, good question. Devonta Jones. Who is the best mid? You talking including wingers or just central midfielders? Because if you're just talking central midfielders, I think right now Weston McKinney. Andy Garcia. How do you think MLS Next do in replacing the USDA for the future of our youth? Depends how they do it. If they keep similar things as the DA, they'll be fine. If they don't, if they start letting teams go play high school ball, I don't think that's good for teams' development, personally speaking. Do I think the Philippines can make the World Cup? No idea. No idea. Simon, thank you for your support. All you guys who have sent donations tonight, very nice of you. States FC, Simon, OGR Sports, and Josh, I believe. Not Josh. There was another one of you who sent me a donation, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Samuel Perez, I enjoy your videos coming from a Mexico fan, brother. Thank you, Samuel. I enjoy having interesting discussions with Mexican fans from a rational perspective. And when I meet rational Mexican fans who talk about things in a rational perspective, I really enjoy it. Doesn't mean we can't disagree. We can disagree, but let's be respectful. And I appreciate that you are like that. There were some good guys being quite respectful, disagreeing respectfully on the chat. I mean, on the comments from the last video. So I love that. I love that. At the end of the day, all of us getting better. The US, Mexico, Canada, Jamaica, Curacao, Haiti, other teams. We need a better CONCACAF. So I want everybody to improve. I want Raul Jimenez to come back and play soccer. Because even though it's more of a threat to the US, good. I want our defenders to have to defend Raul Jimenez. So when we go to a World Cup, we're not scared to defend top forwards in the world. You know, I don't want to be defending JJ Macias or Chicharito. They're good players, but they're not at that level. So I want Raul Jimenez to come back. I want Chucky Lozano to succeed in Italy. I want Tecatito to go to a top 5 league and to continue to grow. All right. Sorry for repeating. Have you talked about Mackenzie? Obby, yes, we have, but I'll give you the sum. I prefer Genk to Celtic. Better team, second in the Belgian league. Probably going to be in Europe. Good move. Would prefer Germany. Fine with Genk. Rest in peace, Chicharito. Probably, yes. All right. What else? Let me see. Pete, you do a great job. Thank you so much for your videos. Thank you, Trent. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of this, guys. I appreciate you all a lot. It's been fun. We're like a community, band of brothers here. Would love to see you do a collab video with David Kerr. He's very knowledgeable on our up-and-coming prospects. Yes, he is. Is he on YouTube? I didn't know he was on YouTube. But he's somebody I could bring on in the future. Gabe Dang, I feel like Daryl Dike, if he keeps progressing, he could just be a better Josie in the future. Agreed. Needs to continue to work technically, especially on his left foot. Aneem Hunter. Do you think Anthony Robinson is currently our left back? Is he a stopgap option, or do you think he'll grow into his role on the national team for the long term? I think he's probably a stopgap. I think he's fine for CONCACAF. But I think against top teams in the world, he might struggle. But he's only 23, so we will see. Who will play left back? Either Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson for now, unless Sam Vines and George Bello step up. Let's see. Brandon, are you back spamming again? Dude. All right. Do you think Reyna has a good chance at the Golden Boy? From Michael Kocharian. Yes. Yes, he does. Top attacking midfielder in the world for his age group. Realistic World Cup 2022 prediction from Gabe. I say quarterfinals. I think quarterfinals is realistic with this group. Depends who you play, though, right? And depends on the tactics that Greg Berhalter uses. We'll see. Let's see. Who else? Any chance Tyler Adams plays left back because of our depth in the midfield? I don't think so. Not his position. He's best as a 6. Emil Sorry, guys, I'm bad with names. Emil, Philly and FC Dallas, best academies. Agreed. Hey, Pete, it's Leo. How do you feel about Busio as a CDM prospect, or do you see him progressing into a role further up the field? I've only been impressed with him as a holding midfielder, sort of a Pirlo type midfielder. But even then, I think he has to work on his defending. But he's still young. He's only 18, so who knows? When he gets into tight spaces, he doesn't feel like he can get out of it with his first touch. And that's worrying if you're playing higher up the field where it tends to be more crowded. Samuel Perez, I want the same for you guys. It's about time the Concacaf gets some recognition. Only rival on the field, but when it comes to representing, we are together, brother. Agreed, Samuel. Agreed. I can't wait for qualifiers. Same. Do you think Musa ends up choosing us? Jeff, yes, I do. I don't think you come and play twice for us unless you really want to play for us. I don't know all these guys you're putting on. Finn Gurm. He's a consistent player for the U20s and plays at Wolfsburg. Is he like a dual national German? What do I think of the USL Academy starting next spring? Don't know yet. I have to see it before I can really evaluate it. All right. USA needs to be a top 2 team in their group to get to quarterfinals. Is that likely? I mean, it's possible. We did it in 2002. We did it in 2010. And we did it in 2014. So I think with this group, the best, the most talented generation we've ever had in American soccer, no reason why we shouldn't get out of our group. Pete is 2-0. All right. Derek Rishi, will Greg Berhalter really adjust away from his system to a more Marsh high press as needed, or will he be stubborn? Based on what we saw in the last couple of friendlies, I believe he is moving towards a more high press. But I have to see him do it in a competitive game before I'm really convinced that he's doing that. Houston, we have a problem. Why are you so high on Kobe Hernandez Foster? Because I've seen him play for LA Galaxy's youth teams, and I've seen him play at the U17 World Cup, and I think he's a very high-ceiling left back. All right. Let's see. GGG isn't getting fired. Yes, that's probably true. Devonta Jones, is there any way you think Greg could get fired before World Cup qualifiers? Ooh, hard to say. If he gets knocked out by Honduras, I don't think so. Even if, let's say he lost to Honduras in the semifinal of the Nations League and got knocked out of the Gold Cup group stage, ooh, that would be embarrassing. I would want him fired if that happened. That would be really sad. Even losing to Honduras would just be another big bad mark against him. With this generation, there's no reason he should be losing to Honduras. Bob, do you think Reyna will live up to his dad's legacy? I think he will exceed his dad's legacy. I think Reyna is a much better player than his dad was. Okay. The States FC. Greg Berhalter has good tactical ideas. He's just not good to adjust during the game. Agreed. And even some of his tactical ideas, at least in 2019, were not good. Simon, the coldest to ever adult. Thoughts on Kobe Hernandez Foster playing as a 6 for Wolfsburg recently? Yeah, I saw that. I heard about that. I haven't seen him as a 6. Talented players can play more than one position, so I think he could do it. But I'd rather he play as left back because we need a left back. Tim Rush. Hey, Pete, I have been watching your videos for the last month or so and really enjoy them. Just wondering what your soccer background is. Thanks. Good question, Tim. I was born in Thailand to American parents, and I played soccer my entire kids, growing up, just playing in the streets with friends. I went and studied coaching in England. I got my degree in coaching for performance in football from Cambridge University. And then I worked for Arsenal Soccer Schools, and I helped set up soccer academies for them in India and coached at the 2nd division level in the Indian League. And then I coached in the Middle East for a little while. I coached in Chicago, and now I live in Los Angeles. I have a C license from US Soccer Federation and a degree in coaching soccer and about 10 or so years of experience. But mostly I'm just a fan, like all of you. Cranji's McBasketball. I don't have a question to ask. Just keep putting out the great content. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of this live stream and this channel. This channel can't survive without all of you guys. Damn, what a life in 30 years. Yes, it was fun, man. I've traveled the world. I've played soccer in the park, on the beaches, in streets all over the world, in places where we didn't even speak the same language, but the language that we all spoke was soccer, football, and I love it. All right, what do you think of Suriname changing their law so they can now call up over 300 players from Europe? I think they're trying to do the same thing that Curacao is doing. AMB, will Rodon ever get a call-up again with more options popping up in his position? A lot of Guatemala fans are already saying he should have chosen them. Yeah, I don't think Rodon should be called up. Greg will probably call him up in January, but I don't think he has anything to offer the U.S. men's national team. He had all of 2019 to prove himself. He does the simple things kind of well, but he doesn't add anything to what we're trying to do. So no thanks. All right. 3 more questions, guys, and then I'm going to sign off, okay? Did you ever coach at or against Real Kashmir while in India? I did not, but I knew of them. They had a Brazilian coach at the time who was doing a lot of good work there in Kashmir. What are your thoughts, Dot Boy Mash? What are your thoughts about Weston McKinney as captain? I think he could be a good captain. Him and Tyler Adams are my 2 top choices. Ben Walters, how do you think American youth talent is compared to powerhouse, especially in youth? Example, Netherlands. I think we're getting better at our youth development. The DA has improved, and that's why you see all these young players coming out of American academies and then going to Europe, or playing 1 or 2 years in MLS and then getting bought by Europe. So we're not quite at that top level, but we're pushing, and it's only going to get better, guys. This isn't a golden generation. A golden generation means after this generation is over, we're done. We're going to be like Chile or Croatia. No, this is the beginning of a whole new era for American soccer, where we're going to start churning out players the same way that France or Germany or England does. Okay? The code is to have a dough. Night Pete, everyone check out his Patreon for more fire content. I subbed and love it. Yes, Simon, Patreon. Thank you, sir. Fantastic having you there. I'm able to do videos on Patreon, guys, that I can't do here because I get to show the actual game clips and do tactical stuff. So yes, good night, Simon. Thank you for being here. Guys, this is a lot of fun. Let's try to do this again soon. I hope you all have a very good rest of the year, 2-3 days, and a very happy new year to you all. I'll see you guys in 2021, which hopefully will be a better year than 2020. It's going to be a good year for the U.S., for the U.S. men's national team. I know that. So fingers crossed, Greg Berhalter gets his tactics right. Fingers crossed we all stay healthy. Stay safe, guys. And I will see you next week. Next Tuesday, we'll be back to the normal video. Have a good one, guys.